What do you guys think of the farm tour? Let's hear it a little louder.
Well, what I'm taking away is the impressive part is that there's absolutely no input of heating whatsoever. No artificial gas, no electric.
Look at the size of these citrus leaves, folks.
The fact that you're keeping stuff alive in an environment that doesn't belong here, that's the impressive part. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is some heat in our greenhouse, and he's showing us this is bags of compost. These are leaves right here, just free leaves.
Let's give an example of like a heat signature of a person. So where you see the blue would be the cold, the red, and then the lighter or orange would be more heat. And you're seeing in the walls, he's got a double wall here. The wood is retaining heat. The bags of leaves, is that what it is?
Yes.
Those are retaining a lot of heat, as you can see.
Let's turn around and look back here and see where we're getting heat.
Oh,
Let's lift this up.
Look at that.
Okay, let's twist that towards this camera right here.
Now I can't tell you the temperature, but I would guess that's above 70 degrees.
Okay, so this is water mass down here. Is that giving off heat or is it more of the compost?
It's the compost. But watch this. I'm going to use my warm hand and I'll set it there, and then that's going to leave a mark. You see that? That's my handprint.
So we're getting more heat from the compost and the bags of leaves than we are from the... And it looks like it's helping getting covered with this black plastic.
Wow.
Yeah, and the wood too is retaining some warmth too, as you can see. The metal, ever so slightly. Wow, that's impressive. Even the metal is retaining some heat.
So we are in the middle of a canyon windstorm here in Utah, really cold. Okay, so this gentleman has his thermal radiation. He's going to show us where the heat's coming in this thing. And we're going to talk about...
Oh, the Idaho ladies make it.
We're going to talk about wind. Be careful with your head. So this is a $200 device on eBay. And we've upgraded with 2x4s. We put this wall of compost here. We're going to lift up the wall of compost. He's going to show us where the heat's coming from. Let's lift that up. And so we have water mass right here. And he's telling us that there's not a lot of heat coming out of that, but we're getting a lot of heat out of these bags. So this is straw from a duck farmer, and there's duck manure mixed in here. I'd like to see what the heat.
Timber is putting up heat.
Can we see the heat out of this bag right here? This is duck straw from a duck bedding. So you can see there's quite a bit of heat coming out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff from a chicken pen work too, you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we put that under this black wall, and it helps heat the greenhouse. You guys can feel the heat in here. It is 29 degrees outside with a wind chill that's probably about 15 to 20.
So cold out there.
It's crazy cold.
Nice and warm in here, though.
So this is a new greenhouse that we built, brand new. And so we're trying to turn it into the Hobbit hole greenhouse to plant citrus and everything. We have a lemon tree right here that we're experimenting with that we were gifted.
Okay.
Okay, so we have our wall of compost in here. Where is our thermal, what do we call this? Thermal mass detector. This greenhouse, the door blew open from the canyon winds.
Even the ground is pretty warm.
Body heat will bring it back.
Wow.
So as we're in here, we're dealing with 50-mile-an-hour winds outside, and this thing's holding up really good.
That is cool.
Heat everywhere.
So let's pull this up and see what kind of heat we're getting out of under this wall. And just be careful with our heads there. So what's giving us the most amount of heat?
The bags behind.
So let's turn that towards this camera. Thank you. And see, the compost is giving off more heat than the water.
Wow.
And we saw that the straw, the duck bedding straw, giving off a lot of heat.
What's in there? Just more.
This is water. So this was put together really, this is put together really quick because we just built this. So I'm trying to get it as far ahead as I can.
Yeah.
And then next year really work on it. On the outside, we have bags of leaves that are covered under plastic. Let's take a look at the thermal imaging on that. And look at the heat.
Wow. What's this?
This is a window.
Oh. It's really warm.
Oh, the window is warm.
Yeah, there's a pocket of warm air. Since it's double air.
Right now, yes.
That's cool.
Okay, so let's take a look in here.
This is
Now-
from the exterior.
Okay, so we got a black wall of compost here too. There's all kinds of little goodies in here. Let's face that towards this camera. Okay, so we're getting a lot of heat out of the compost. And then in here, there's a grapefruit tree we just planted.
So is this, can this be entered or?
So this is built just for like one fruit tree, but we want a lot of insulation so when the grapefruit tree grows out, it'll get that heat that we're showing on the thermal imaging camera.
Yeah, the tops of the bags are nice and warm.
So this gentleman is it's like Ghost Adventures. This is Zach Bagans. What does everybody think? Is this kind of cool? Yeah. So we're in the middle of 50-mile-an-hour winds and our greenhouses are starting to blow. Okay, but we can see that we put 2x4s against the structures and they're holding up really good. The plastic's blowing a little bit, but that's okay. All right, where's Taylor at? Can you lock that door?
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. So this is a standard high tunnel without all the compost because we haven't had a chance yet. A brand new device. How does it compare temperature-wise?
It's this is a lot colder than the others.
So we're not
Yeah,
seeing the
so-
oranges. We're seeing it on people.
The wood chips are putting off maybe a little bit of heat signature, but that's it.
We're not seeing all that.
The wood is cold.
We're not seeing it other than the people.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing that the compost that we put in there is really making a big difference.
Yeah.
You guys feel that in the other greenhouses?
Yeah, big difference.
How cold is it outside right now?
Probably
5
10
degrees,
5
10.
degrees with that wind.
All right. Here is our friend Carl. He's like Zach Bagans on Ghost Adventures. So this is another greenhouse that we don't have the compost and such in. It's kind of a traditional with just water barrels. So let's go in with his thermal imaging and let's see what the heat looks like without the compost.
The ground has a good amount of heat.
So the ground's warm, but we're not getting
The lip of that bucket has some heat.
a little bit out of the water. So let's go inside. And as the people are going to notice, it's not near as warm in here as the other greenhouse with the compost.
Oh, I think that was definitely better.
The heat's all in the ground.
Better than outside,
Better than outside.
but it's colder than the others.
So these guys are learning that it's real important to have not only the water mass, but the compost too in the bags. And then we have this held together real well. We have really strong winds here, canyon winds. All right, Carl, show us where the heat's coming out. Let's try those walls. So this is compost that's been in here for a long time. Look at the color coming out of there. This is our citrus orchard in Ogden. So we have some real cold areas, but right there in the wall where the compost. Let's go over on this wall and take a look. So this fine lady over here,
Even the branches are fairly warm.
so there's where the compost is. What's this fine lady think? She's been to the one in Nebraska,
Yeah, no, it just,
done on a dime.
it doesn't make sense to spend a ton of money when you can do something like this.
This is the neatest thing of all. Look at the size
Runs it and pays him like
of these leaves.
Are those
This is grapefruit.
grapefruit? Oh, it's a good one.
Summer, do you pull all this plastic off?
This is set it and forget it. We do not want to work hard. We open the windows and it actually self-cools. This always stays cool down here.
Nice.
What do you think, Carl?
Well, what I'm taking away is the impressive part is that there's absolutely no input of heating whatsoever. No artificial gas, no electric.
Look at the size of these citrus leaves, folks.
The fact that you're keeping stuff alive in an environment that doesn't belong here, that's the impressive part. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have compost on top of the device, and look at the heat that's coming out of the compost. We also have compost over here by our friend that went to the Nebraska farmer's greenhouse. And I guess we're not getting a lot of heat out of that because it's kind of on a shady side, but at the top we're getting a lot of heat.
And this is the north side here?
This is the north side. So we're not getting as much heat coming out of the water, but we are out of the compost.
So cool. I love it. Everything about
it's been a
this
real
place.
treat. Learned a lot.
Thank you, Carl.
So green, it's so pretty.
She drove clear from Idaho Falls. So we're going to videotape this on the way out a little bit. I want to show everybody the grapefruit that fell off the tree. We'll pick this up off the bottom of the trees. These are humongous pomelo grapefruit grown in Utah. We're gonna take this out. Yeah. This is a Tangelo. This is a grapefruit orange cross. Right here, these are limes. These are little limes. Could be a lime quite. You never know what they give you in the nursery. So just a real beautiful citrus orchard in Utah. Hope everybody on the tour enjoyed it. All right, really hard canyon winds. This is Carl, our expert. He has a thermal camera.
Okay, I just brought along a camera that can read temperatures. Anyway, my whole point of being here was to learn some techniques on how to keep a garden going in the winter without input of energy, you know, whether it's gas or with electric. So I learned a lot. Insulating with the straw is very effective, and compost is very effective. Multi-layers of plastic is very effective too. The water storage container you have in there, they're a good thermal mass battery basically. This is exactly my focus in life right now, is producing my own food. Obviously I'm not producing 100%, I'm really not. At some point I want to get, you know, producing a lot more, but this is going to help me do it. Being able to produce year round, and this is the technology can do it. This is so basic.
So he was the star of our tour. And he has a YouTube channel. What is your YouTube channel?
Don't drink the water. It's called Don't Drink the Water.
Don't drink the water.
And this fine lady, I believe she has probably a YouTube channel too.
I'm on TikTok.
What's her name?
I'm Holly. My TikTok is Gucci Mama.
Now, I have a TikTok channel too, and I wish somebody would repost some of my videos so I can go big on
You
TikTok.
might have just found somebody.
I need that. And this guy right here looks like one of my favorite actors.
There he is.
That's me in the flesh.